Good evening, everybody. Wonderful to see you. This is session number 1, Time for Money Magic. I want to say, if you didn't get your guidebook, you can get it at peacefulriches.com if you're just listening to the recording here, or you can get it in our Discord server. So this will be the guidebook for tonight. And the reason we're doing this one first, because there's so many different aspects. Whenever you do a money training, there's so many different ways you can go at it. And sometimes you want to go internal, sometimes you want to go things like this, getting your energy. Sometimes you just want to go out and start hitting it straight away. But I realize the amount of times I've been working with people and trying to help them do things, and the first thing that always comes up is they always say, I just don't have time. Like, I've just got too much to do. I've got children, I got work, I got a full-time job, I've got all these other things, and it's just like, and they're like, how can I just get these things done? There's just no time left. And it is a common thing. Sometimes we think there is literally no time left, because some of you might have seen the post or the email today, and I was saying, you just see some people, and they've got multiple companies, they got family, they're able to study and learn all the time, they're able to be out in public, they're able to brand themselves, be able to put themselves out there, develop lots of skills, and they just seem to have so much time for everything plus time left over. But sometimes you feel like, but I just don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. How can you do so much in just the same time that everyone else has? And that's what we're going to get into tonight, because there's two sides to this. We're going to start off quite easy. So the first side, we're going to look at this. It will be quite straightforward. And you'll be like, okay, this makes sense. It'll be very powerful, but it's straightforward and easy for everyone to grasp and get the concept of it. And we can start applying things straight away. But then in the later stages, I'm going to bring in some things that not many people really talk about in terms of energy and how you maximize your full power so you can put that energy into something that really matters in your life. Because it's really important to know it's not only how you manage your time, it's how you manage your energy. A lot of you probably heard me talk about this before, that it's okay to be tired at times. Like, everyone gets tired at times. You don't sleep so well. Again, since we've had a baby, it's been almost a year of a bit broken sleep and other things. For us, I think I'm operating on like 3 or 4 broken hours of sleep every night for almost the past year. But you kind of get used to it. So I do feel a bit tired sometimes, but I don't feel drained anymore, which I used to feel drained very often. And that was the thing, is like, what causes that drain, where you're just like, I just can't be bothered to do it. Like, let's say you're in the group and you hear about doing the introduction from the last call, and you're like, I could do it, but yeah, maybe, I don't know. I'll skip it. And this is what happens. That's the difference of people who perform at high level and people who don't. It's just like that. I'll just do it. There's a task, do it, next, do it, next, do it next. And you do it with a joyful energy, and you're not battling against yourself. So I want to say where a lot of this came from for me. And some of you might have heard of T. Harv Eker. I think he did Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. I read this book a long time ago, and I don't know if I got it from his audio program or from the seminar I went to in London with him. And it was this story about this little child out in the park with his dad getting an ice cream. And some of you might know the story. But the little child, he was going past the ice cream store and he was like, oh, ice cream. The dad, being a nice dad, is obviously like, cool, sure, let's go in. They go into the nice store. It's all beautiful. You all the nice colors there. And he asks the son, he's like, which one do you want? And he's like, I'll have the mint. So he orders the mint. And as it comes down, he reaches over and he hands the mint ice cream to the son, who's very young, just a little baby, basically. And he puts it in his hand, and his hand is so small and weak that whenever he's holding ice cream, it's so much weight, and he can't control it yet. So he gets it, and it wobbles, and he tries to lick it, and boom, it falls on the ground. Ice cream gone. The little child, he's just crying, oh no, I lost my ice cream. And the dad, obviously being a nice dad, he's like, don't worry, we'll get another one. It's not a problem, it's just an ice cream. These things happen. Sometimes mistakes happen. Let's get another ice cream. So he goes and he orders another ice cream. And then the little boy, whenever he sees his dad about to order it, he looks up and he sees this big double scooper. It's this big ice cream with two scoops. And he's like, oh, Dada, double scoop. and he wants a double scoop. And the thing is, let's say you're the dad. You saw your son, you gave him an ice cream, his hands were too weak to hold it. It already fell off. He cried, he was sad because he lost it. But now he wants a double scoop. As the parent in that situation, do you give them the double scoop? And it's such an interesting thing. You think, oh yeah, give him a double scoop. And it's like, if he couldn't handle the single scoop, why would you give him double the amount that's going to make him fail even worse next time? And this is such an important concept for everything in life. It's until we can handle what we've already got and show that we can competently handle what we've already got, we don't get more to handle. And I really want that to set in. Until we can handle what we've already got, we don't get more to handle. Which means if you're in your current work right now and you're feeling exhausted and you can't keep up with the tasks and you're overwhelmed and you're chasing around like a headless chicken, not knowing what you're doing, and you're exhausted and you collapse at the end of the night and you're like, oh my God, why is this so hard? No one or anything is going to trust you with more responsibility or more things that will bring in more money because you're not able to handle what you have right now. And all of us get to a limit. It doesn't matter who we are. We all have a limit of where we are. But if we want to go to the next level, we have to show that we can competently handle everything we have right now. So it's like if we go into your house, because some of you know the prosperity test, where we go through and we do the house analysis and the car analysis and other things. If someone comes to your house now and they see like crap everywhere, just like junk, there's dirt, there's filth, the garbage is piled up, overflowing, there's so many like broken shit everywhere. It's like if they see that, they're like, yeah, I don't think I want to give you business, because if you can't obviously manage your house, you probably can't manage anything else. The same as your vehicle. If you get in and it's all full of scratches and bumps and the fuel's down empty and there's filth everywhere and it's kind of disgusting, you're not in a place ready to be able to handle the next thing. So it's so important we start to demonstrate competency in what we're doing right now. But the way we demonstrate competency is using our time and our energy very well and making sure that if our priority for this process, because I want to say during this process, get money now, this might not be a full-time, like a lifetime way of operating. This is for us to build a skill over the next month of how you can get money quickly by operating in a very specific way. And after that, you can rechange your life however you want. But to do this in a specific way, we're going to need to manage our energy and our time in a specific way and really get to that place where we prioritize the target. It's like it's one of these things. If somebody's been struggling to pay their bills for the past 5 years, like it might be the same recurring pattern over and over again, week by week. It's like, oh my God, I wish I just had enough. I'm like 200 behind this month. Oh crap, I'm again 200 behind. Oh, I just managed to just get enough. Oh, maybe I can get a loan. Maybe I got a couple extra loans. Maybe I can like try and borrow a little bit from someone else. Maybe I can like do a little triple overtime. Then maybe it's a time that we don't do that anymore, because that seems pretty exhausting. So to be able to get out of that situation, we can need to start to let go of some things that don't serve us in terms of our energy and our time. And you see how much it's going to be worth it. It's like if you have to give up a few things in this process to know how to make money for the rest of your life, so you're not going to have to worry about money again. You might still always, again, want to increase more and you'll have bigger desires and you want to fulfill that, but you don't have to be at the base level fighting and scrabbling, how do I get enough? It's like, it's a system like if we need a certain amount of money, we can go out and get it pretty quickly. But it will come from changing some behaviors, changing some habits that once you let go of them, it'll blow your mind why you even did those things in the first place. And for some of you who already downloaded the guidebook, you've already seen some of the list of what I'm talking about, what we're going to be looking at in your life. And we always go for the easiest and most like useless crap in our life first of all. And then we can streamline our energy and charge our energy into one thing. And then before you know it, like you start being able to apply things and you start to be able to complete things that you couldn't complete before. Instead of trying to do 50 things, like a lot of times people who are over busy, it's kind of a victim behavior. And I used to do this all the time. It's like, you just love to say you're busy. It's like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing today? And it's like, oh, I did 50 things. I drove around town. I picked up some eggs, and then I went and filled up the car, and then I washed it, and then I went in and I talked to someone, and then I went and got a couple of leaflets, and then you realize there's like, you did nothing of value. It was just like racing around. But if we stop that and simplify our life, because there's ways, like there was a TV show a little while ago. I don't recommend TV shows, but I remember seeing this. It kind of stuck in my mind, and I guess I adopted it years ago. It was called Billionaires and Their Uniforms. And this concept just got me. It was just like, billionaires and their uniforms? Because I always thought billionaires would have like the biggest wardrobe in the world. You'll have 10,000 outfits every morning. You'd have 1,000 things to pick from. But the amount of billionaires that have a uniform every day, they've got like Mark Zuckerberg and other stuff, they got like 10 of the same hoodies, 10 of the same pants, 10 of the same, so probably even 50 or 100 of the same ones. Because in the morning, it's less things to think about. I do as well. Like I tell you, I get my stuff in Decathlon because I like to feel sporty all day. So it's just one of those things. I feel comfortable when I have it, and I have a lot of the same thing. Like on the stream, probably most nights I'll end up wearing the same top because I don't have to think about it. I'm not thinking, oh my God, this t-shirt, did I wear it last time? Is this the right color? Am I going to do it? It's just like, white t-shirt, I've got a big stack of them. Boom, put this on, put a pair of shorts on, good to go. And it's one less thing that I need to think about every single time. And it's such an important thing to not have so many decisions. And like Brigitte and I, we talk about this all the time, this interesting pattern. Some of you might resonate, some of you might do it. So it's like, I notice that a lot of people go to the mall so that they can buy clothes, so that the next time they go to the mall to buy clothes, they have something to wear. Now, whenever you see that circular logic, they're thinking, I want something nice to wear to the mall while I'm going to the mall to buy clothes at the mall. And it's like this constant it's like they're just going to the mall for going to the mall. And it's thinking, no, that can be cool. Maybe you enjoy doing that and maybe get some benefit from it. But whenever you really want to upgrade life and really do certain things, it's important to think, do I really need to be going to the mall to buy clothes, to go to the mall in? Or maybe could I just let that go? Mark's saying, who does that? A lot of people do that. You'd be shocked. A lot of people do that. So, and it's one of these things, like, a lot of times whenever people get to this and they see the list of like what we get rid of, a lot of people might go, oh my God, that's so boring. Oh your life must be so boring if you're not you're not eating out, you're not going to the mall, you're not going to nightclubs, you're not going these. Oh my God, your life sucks so much. And it's just like, really? Are you sure? Do we want to compare schedules? And someone who might commute in traffic an hour and a half every day, they struggle in work, they have to fight with their boss, they're smoking at lunchtime because they try to bring some presents and other stuff, and then they go back and they battle and they get some alcohol and they go home and they watch some Netflix series and they're like exhausted, and then they fight to get up the next day. But on a Friday and Saturday night they like to go party, so their life is fun and our life is boring. And it's like, for 10 years I just do whatever I want whenever I want. We play football, we go to the pool, we be with the baby all day every day, we work on only projects that we want to work on. And it just seems like the trade-off it's not even a choice for me. It's like I give up those stupid things and now I have all the good stuff that really matters to me. And it's just a little choice to give up some of the things that matter the least. Because like any of you guys who have come visit Marbella, you know that it's a very restaurant-orientated place where you just go you go meet a friend for breakfast, and then you meet a friend for lunch, and then you meet a friend for dinner, and you keep going restaurant after restaurant. And I used to feel exhausted after this. And just like the food, the digestion, it's all these different flavors and other stuff, and just like it takes a toll on the body. And I realized I was feeling drained all the time. It was just like after a while, I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. I eat the same thing basically every day, and my energy is just stable now, morning till night. And it's such a difference. Before I used to be exhausted. Like, you come 1 o'clock and you're like, oh my God, I need to go and pass out somewhere. And it's just like, it's starting to analyze our energy, noticing what causes different things in our energy. And another pattern that I noticed in myself was some mornings I used to wake up and I just felt like I got hit by a truck. I was just like, why do my bones hurt? Like, it's like sniffing, just feeling like crap, groggy. My head is like all clogged up, and you're just like, oh, why do I feel so bad? And I go down, every bone hurts. It's like no matter where I sit, it's uncomfortable. It was just like, what? Why does it feel so bad? And I just thought maybe some days are good days, some days are bad days. That's just how it is. Just like some days you wake up good, some days you wake up bad. Like it's just a flip of the coin. It is what it is. Until until I started to look at what I was doing the night before I felt like that. Shocker, I'm going to blow your minds here. The days I felt like that in the morning, it turns out I ate a tub of ice cream while watching like Game of Thrones the night before. And shocker, I felt like shit when I woke up in the morning. And it's just like after a while, I noticed this every day. I felt like crap in the morning. I was like, what did I do the night before? Wait, I had a bag of Doritos. Interesting. So bag of Doritos before bed, bad idea. Tub of Ben and Jerry's before bed, bad idea. And you start to analyze and start to be aware of energy patterns and how we feel and what goes on in our body and what other things. So, because a lot of times people are just not aware. You just think you get a sore head out of nothing. I just have a sore head today. It's like, why? Well, I don't know, just sore head. The sore head gods just gave me a sore head. That's it. Well, it's like, so there's no cause, nothing that you were doing that might have brought this about and brings it about habitually. It's like, were you drinking enough water? Are you overthinking? Are you addicted to paracetamols? It's like, there's so many things that if you start to analyze what happened the moment the sensation started in your head, and if you start to think of what you're thinking about, you're probably stressing about something. And when you unwork that pattern, you don't get these anymore. It's like a lot of things, once you backtrack and find out our patterns, we can let go of a lot of things that suck our energy, suck our time. Because again, I always talk about in the group as well, it's like for 20 years, I've been able to be healthy. It should be the most normal thing in the world. Once you realize where illness comes from, it's usually people getting poisoned, overstressed, in toxic environment, sending self-hatred to themselves. Whenever you don't do that anymore and you don't poison your body anymore, there's no reason to be sick. Because again, a lot of you know, like we moved our extended family into our house. And before they were saying that would have been like at winter, people get colds, people get flus, other stuff. Since they've been here, nobody's been sick. So when people come into an environment that's more harmonious for health, nobody gets sick. Like our baby, she's what, Brigida's going to be mad if I get this wrong. I think she's 13 or 14 months old, being perfectly healthy every single minute of her life. It's been such an incredible thing. Because I always thought babies were sick all the time. I just thought babies are like every baby I ever saw was sick all the time. Our baby, whenever we don't do the things that make people sick, been healthy every single day of her life. And how much time that gives you in your life when you're not worried about a sick baby, when your baby's just healthy and you expect she's going to be healthy and you know everyone's going to be healthy all the time. So there's things we can do, and we'll get through this stage by stage. But once you know that we're not victims for anything, like if we're feeling tired and drained, it's something that we're doing. And we have the ability to change it by changing our thoughts, by changing our emotions, by changing the environment we're in, the people we're around, and the food we consume. And once you realize that, it's such a freeing power to realize it's like, like it's not normal to be sick ever. It's not normal to like people. Of course it's normal to have a cold or a flu 3 times a year. It's like no, it's not normal at all. It should not happen. Like it's just it's a choice of way we live and do these things, and it seems weird. Like people don't even get this if people have been in sicknesses for a while. But once you let it go, it's just like how much time do you have when you know you're always healthy every single day, and and when you wake up in the morning and you feel the same every day, you just feel like okay, I'm good. All right, let's get to it. So the way we're going to do that, hopefully some of you got this guidebook. We spent a little bit of time making it nice and pretty for you, so hopefully you appreciate. And I will be getting to the comments. If anyone's putting any comments there, I will get to them in a little minute. I just want to get here first of all. So what I want us to do in this first stage, and hopefully you're still with me and this makes sense, because our life force and our energy and our time, and if we can focus it like a laser into the things we need to do, making money is going to be pretty easy. But in the later stages of this training, once we get to session 4, session 5, 6 and 7, if we don't have good energy and we don't have that extra reserve and we don't have the extra free time, you probably will come into session 3, 4, and then you'll be like, this seems hard, I'll probably quit. And then people ask, how was the training? And you'll be like, no good, it doesn't work. It's like, did you do any of the things? It's like, no, I don't have time, so I couldn't do it. No. Okay, whatever. And it's like, if you apply this, and I almost want to sound like Wallace Wattles when he talked about the science of getting rich. For any of you who know that book, it was like, whenever you apply this philosophy you're going to get in this Get Money Now training, it will not fail if you apply it. The same as I found with Wallace Wattles. I loved his confidence. We said, have no doubt, this will not fail. This is a science of getting rich. It's not a theory of getting rich. It's an exact science that if you follow it completely and truly, you will become rich. And I've seen it over and over again. The people who do follow it and commit to it and take it like a science, they do become rich. The same as this, if you're willing to go along, make a change for a month. And because the reason I say a month, once you feel it for a month, you're going to, it takes a little while for your body to readjust, but once you do, it's like you've got a superpower. You're just like, oh wow, I feel alive for the first time in a different way I didn't even know was possible. And it's just such a nice freeing thing. And then you just do the things that we're going to talk about later. How to connect, how to build your list, how to reach out, how to make a sale, how to get employees, all these things. If you're feeling drained and lethargic, these things will be overwhelming. You're like, how do people do this? But once you're energized all day, boom, piss easy. No worries. You just do it as like a duck swimming. So I hope you're with me. I really want to sell the concept that this matters so much. So let me see where we are. Yeah, a lot of people, sugar, alcohol does this to your body. Yeah, I see this. So health is the biggest wealth. Yeah, it's good that a lot of you getting that. Yeah, sugar and stuff, it just drained me so bad. So as the old time was saying, since I gave up meat, I never felt drained or that I need to take a nap after eating, no matter the quantity I ate. Very nice. Yeah, so it's like, whenever you just become, it's awareness of your patterns. And that's why we put a checklist here. So this is the kind of simple part. In the guidebook, we put the checklist. We'll go through a few of them just so you can start being aware of it. And there are things, like a lot of you know my pattern as well. I've told it many times. I don't have social media on my phone or my computer. I actually have Discord now, to be honest. But before, for years, I have a separate device for social media, and I keep it turned off. And maybe once a week, I turn it on, 5-minute check, and then I'm off again. I just want to check to see if anyone messaged me or I needed to do something quickly. And it was like, if I ever just suddenly go, maybe I'll check and scroll a little bit more, and I stay there for 15 minutes, I instantly start to feel this like yucky, kind of like depressed sort of feeling. I don't know what it is. Those platforms, again, this is why I like to be in Discord, because it doesn't have all those algorithms and just all the crap they put in those platforms. I don't know what it does, why I feel so bad on it, but maybe some of you feel the same. But it's like over consuming the social media. It just promotes so many things in your brain you don't need to see, and you start to get anxiety that, I have to be doing everything that everyone else is doing. Whereas like we come to Discord and you only have to do your own life. In this group, like I want everyone to be self-referenced. You build your life and everyone else's life. That's good. They do their thing. But just we do our own life. And we don't need to be concerned. This guy, he moved to Australia. This one got a promotion. This guy bought a brand new car. This guy, and it's like your brain makes that into one person. And then you think you should be doing all of it instead of like just do the things we want to do. And life is way more chill. So like lots of just like checking emails. So we're going to go through just the energy, some of the simple energy rings. I want to get some more complex ones that are a bit more out there towards the end of this call. That some people may or may not be ready to hear, but we'll get the simple basic ones first of all that most people are aware of. But start to think in your life, where do I get the most obvious things that drain me? How many TV shows have you watched in the past few months? And some of you go, I don't watch TV shows. I am way above that. I don't do that. It's like, okay, how many like YouTube shows or random tutorials that you don't really need or things on YouTube do you just sit and scroll and you think it's educational, but you know it's not really, because you're not really developing a skill. You're just kind of like passively learning things. Or on Facebook, you watch a reel, then you watch another one, then you watch another one, then you watch another one, and before you know it, an hour goes past. So it's like, it's starting to be aware of these things. It's like, the way I found before going on a device is like, why am I going on it? What am I going to do on this device? And you say that before that and go, I'm going to go here and do this, then go there, do that, and then get back off. And I find it frees up so much energy, because it's like screens do something to the brain also. I don't think we want to be on a screen too much. Like I find like 2-3 hours a day is probably where the maximum should be, and then you want to be in the sun, get out. So we have lack of sleep, bad sleep. I'm on to be talking now because I haven't had a good sleep in a year. It's one of those things. It is what it is. You kind of get used to it after a while. But I find that if you can get better sleep, eating good quality things before bed, having a little quiet time an hour before bed. Like I don't like using screens. I actually have e-readers. I don't know if I have it here, but where it's like e-ink, so I can read at night on a device. And even it has social media and has Discord. It has all those things if you want to use it. But they're very nice devices because it doesn't stimulate the brain before bed. So what we got? So Denise says scrolling. Mark says yes, doing your own life. Denise says no TV or anything else, but scrolling is the big one for me. Yeah, I think a lot of that. So Art Bendy says I consume a lot of visuals, image, and videos for my work. Yeah, because sometimes it spills over and it's like a fine line of what is actually work. So Andre says I spent 20 minutes this morning watching how to harvest silk from silkworms. Exactly. We think this is cool. This makes sense. I'm learning stuff. I'm being smarter. And there are times to branch out in life and watch random, like you might watch a show called like How It's Made, and they go in the factory and show all the things how it's made. And it is mind-blowing. It does help your brain develop in a way, but there's times for that. During this process, we want to just be clear, is it helping me with specifically my goal of getting new money right now? And I want everyone during this process, it's like, I know a lot of it, like in Peaceful Riches, our ecosystem, the tagline is build a life you don't need to escape from. And that's like most of that, I only want us to be focused on doing the things that we really love, we really enjoy. So our whole life is one complete system. However, I want to say, however, whenever we are building a skill that will help us with all the rest of our life, we can be more flexible with our activities. Because what happened was, I was in California, I think like a long time ago, I don't remember dates, but I spent 4 months training with Tony Robbins' mentors at NLPU in California. Because I wanted to find out where he got his knowledge from, and I wanted to spend the time with the people who he spent his time with and trained, because I wanted to train the same way. So I was in California doing that training, and I got very close to the people who were training that. And I remember thinking, I really want to learn to effectively communicate with people and learn to sell. And I wanted to be able to take that skill and bring it back. And, we got Gabe says we have some work to do. Did I lose my train of thought, I think? I don't even know. Where was I going with that? I had a good story. I saw that the energy drains and time wasters, and then I'm like, uh-oh. So I was thinking of something about, yes, using your energy for sales. So then it's like, AdBlock Plus. Yeah, very nice. Yeah, I lost my train of thought. That's gone. Bye-bye. So it is what it is. So we're going to go back to the checklist. I had a very good story there for you. What was it? Maybe it'll come back to me. Sometimes I get in a flow and I see something and then it just like, no worries, Gabe. It's cool. It happens. That's a very odd thing that happens where it's just like someone just presses delete and just go, and it's like, I had a good story there. What was that? Yeah. Anyway, so those of you who have got the guidebook, hopefully you're getting this. We're going to go through these guidebooks and then start to look at the simple ones. Do you use a list whenever you're about to start work in the morning? I know we hear this a lot of time, but using a list, not keeping your head, because if any of you have read the book by David Allen, it's called Getting Things Done. Incredible book. But I think the one thing most people remember from it that I've asked about it is that the brain is not a storage device. That the brain is a creativity tool. And we should use it as that. Whenever it's allowed to be empty, it flows and things come in and out of it. But most people have like 100 things in their brain. You got to repair the wall. You got to put a fuel in the car. You've got to pick up someone in this date. You've got a call 3 hours from now. And all these things start building our mind, and it weighs us down and it makes our body feel heavy. But once you put it on a list and you've got an organized list, then it just keeps it out of your head, and our brain is allowed to flow and allowed to be creative. Yeah. Joanna says, especially with a person with ADHD, we forget easily. Yeah, so it is like, people get scattered very easy. But whenever you have, because I find like a lot of these devices are incredible. Like I used to hate doing all the digital calendars and stuff, but I find it actually is a great help now. And I have those, like it's a whiteboard you pull out. I stick it on my wall, and you can stick it on the wall, and I can just write down all my tasks, and I just write them all up. As soon as I have an idea, I put it straight on there, or I put it in the calendar and get it out of my mind so my energy can flow. And it really matters so much. So other things, here's a weird thing that many people do. And when I say many people, I mean, I was a prime culprit. I used to do this a lot. And now I realize it's like, it was kind of crazy. Someone would annoy me somewhere, like let's say in work or something. They'd annoy me. And then for the next 4 days, I'd be in my car driving around, and I would argue with them in my head. Now, if nobody else does this and I'm the only person that does this, then I sound like a mental case, a crazy person. But I would go through that argument again and again and again and again and think of how to get back at them, and they'd be annoying me, and I just like, and I would just consume my brain, and I would just be like, blah, 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 blah. And then like 4 days later, I would just build up all the same. And it's just like, what am I doing? They're not even here. They don't even care anymore. They've probably forgotten all about this conversation. It's like, what am I doing? It's just like, either if you're in this situation, like, just say it to them or don't and let it go. And so at least, okay, I see many of you are doing, okay, that's fine. So I'm not the one crazy. If you'd all been like, no, never did it, I'd be like, I'm going to go, peace, see ya. So, but yeah, it was just like, I remember that all the time. It was just like in your head, somebody annoyed, and you just like, it just stays there in your brain, and you're consuming all of our energy. When it's just like, now, because the other day, it was, like a month ago, it was the weirdest situation. In Spain, whenever there's a roundabout, it's usually quite a bit of traffic where we're, not a huge amount, but quite a bit, like cars are coming like in like pretty quick. So usually if there's a bit of a gap, you go in, not a big deal. Do it all the time. Everyone, there's a little bit of gap, you just go and slide in, keep the flow going. And I was just like, I was with my mother in Brigida, and we were just driving in to go and pick up some stuff at the store. And this guy just came flying out around the corner. And I was like, oh, that's weird. And then he jammed in front of us and blocked us in, and then just started screaming. I was like, "Rah!" I didn't know what he was saying. He was just like, "Rah, rah, 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 rah." And I was like, is this guy talking to me? Like, I don't, what is this? What's going on? And he was just like, "Boo," and then he tried to reverse towards us and block it. And it's just like, this is very bizarre. It's like, what is going on? Like I slowed them down for like, maybe they had to slow down slightly, and it's a very normal thing. And then they were just like pouring this intensity, like screaming. And I was just like, no, this is not what I do in life. And I just like, boop. I just reversed and then just drove out past him. And I was like, okay, that's the end of that. And he was still rah, 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 like pointing, screaming, shouting. And it's just like, what the heck is going on here? And it's just like, some people, it's just like, he's probably still thinking about it. That guy that slowed me down for a millisecond. And now it's just like, and I think a lot of people in the past, maybe I would have engaged in something like that and then stewed on it for days and weeks and been like, oh, imagine beating him up and other stuff. And it's just like, no, not my game. I'm not into that. I'm going to buy some stuff, and then I'm going home and having a nice time. So it's like, there's things, energy things, there's just like patterns. Whenever you see in everyone, we all have these different odd patterns that I find, like the whole thing of Peaceful Riches was about us clearing a lot of these patterns. So like if somebody pushes our button, there's nothing really there to come out of. Because I remember this time, like some of you may have heard of Wayne Dyer. Like I loved that guy. He was just such an incredible, like inspired me so much. I spent so many years listening to all of his stuff. And one thing in particularly stuck out that he said, that just, you know the way somebody just says something and it changes who you are so profoundly for the rest of your life. Just one statement. And I never stopped thinking about it. And it was just like, well, you know, I don't think about it every day, but I come back to this theory because I really became a core of what I was thinking. And it's like, if you take an orange and you squeeze that orange juice or that orange, what comes out? And it's like, orange juice. It's like, well, why? Yeah, sometimes it's like apple juice. Yeah, so it's like, but it's like orange juice. And it's like, why does orange juice come out when you squeeze an orange? because that's what's inside. So you can squeeze it any way you want. You can be aggressive to it. You can pump it. You can do whatever. But the only thing that can come out of the orange is orange juice, because that's what's inside. So if someone cuts you off and we flip out, we go, you piece of shit, how dare you disrespect me? It's like, that's what's inside. Like if you fantasize about killing them for the next hour, that's what's inside. If someone just gives us and somebody in work doesn't respect our awesomeness, and then we're like, oh, you absolute scumbag, I'll get even with this. Like, that's what's inside. And anytime we have anything, it's like, if anyone comes up and goes, you're a piece of shit, it's like, okay, that's very odd. Like, that's just like your opinion, man. And then if somebody goes, oh my God, you're the most incredible, wonderful, amazing person that ever existed, and it's like, okay, thank you. That's like your opinion. It just is what it is. But the only thing that can come out of us is what's inside. So if we flip out quickly, if someone slights us or something, that's something we need to look at and work on, because that's consuming us, that energy. And it's amazing how much of a life force that consumes, having these battles and like being agitated with people. But the thing we know, like very often you can tell what your life is about by what you're entertained by. If you watch TV shows or movies or any of these things where people are arguing and getting even and they're into drama and chaos, that shows that we like it and we like these things, and we'll keep creating these in our life. And once these things are gone, we get so repelled by those things. I don't want to watch people get murdered on TV. It just doesn't make sense to me. It's like, why would I want to watch someone killing someone? It's just like, that's... Before, again, I'd be like, oh no, but Game of Thrones is incredible. Oh, it's so good. It's just like murder after murder after murder. And it's like, I'm not really into murder. It's not my thing. I kind of like building stuff. I like beautifying things. I like having family. I like to bring joy. And before I used to be like, that sounds so boring. Game of Thrones is so awesome. And it's just like, maybe. And it's just like, whenever we change what we are, all these things come apart. And then you start to notice like you've just have energy for creation, because I'm not into destruction. I'm into building. And all my energy goes to building. Like all day long, I'm like, with everyone in the family, what can we build? With everyone I do with mentoring with, it's like, what can I build? How can I build their life? Every game I would ever play for, it's like, how do we build things? Constantly, it's just building and building and building. I like building. So then our life unfolds. But if we get entertained by destruction, then usually we're going to get destruction in our life. And it's just such a waste of energy. So some people are giving the list. It's good you're going through the checklist while we're doing this. So also with the checklist, this is not the whole list. There's more things to this, of course. But this is a good guide. If you can pick out the obvious ones during this process, and the obvious ones are movies, TVs, scrolling, and eating crappy food that makes you feel exhausted, like potato chips, drinking Coca-Cola, hangovers, all these things. Because I don't know how people give up 2 days at the weekend feeling hungover. I don't get it. Like, why would I give up 2 days? If you love alcohol and you're like, that's your highlight of your week, maybe there's some traumas to be released before we in this process. So, and that's not to say if you have a vineyard and you're in the south of France and your 12 generations grew the grapes on your land and you have a little sip of wine at dinner, like that, I get that. That's a sensible, nice way. If you go drinking, like Irish people know how to do, Irish people don't go to have a drink. Irish people go drinking. And that was my culture. Everyone I grew up with, they go drinking and they get wiped and they might pass out. A lot of you seen the footage from the UK, pass out on the ground after other stuff. It's like, okay, that's a sign of trauma. So it's good to let go of these things. It takes a little bit of time, but once we let go of it, life is very nice. Let me check what we got. So I'm seeing some of these. Mark saying same in Wales. Yeah, unfortunately there's a lot of. Cam says, where's the guide? Yeah, tech support reposted the guidebook, so and I'll hold up for anyone that somehow can't get it, or if you're just listening to the recording, hopefully you can get the guide. But it's really important to start thinking about these things. So you'll be able to start going into this a little bit more in your own time. I don't want to use the whole time just for this part, because The time goes quickly. I realized I was thinking maybe I can keep these calls to half an hour, but that's not going to happen. They're going to be an hour each time, which is probably about right, I guess. So, the other thing I want to get into more interesting things you may not really think about a lot. It's if you get any work, any sales, any business, it's wanting to start to be grateful for every single piece of income that comes in your life in any form. Like if someone gives you €5, it's like, boom, thank you. Awesome. Because I know in here we have a generous gift sections where if you want to send me a gift, like somebody, Brigitte Biro sent me a lovely Rubik's Cube recently, and I play with it all the time. And it brings me so much joy, and I'm like, I dance, and I'm so excited with that as I am if you buy me a supercar or any other thing. I just like, anything that comes in, you're just like, whoa, amazing, I love it. And then some other people that got me a monitor, other stuff as a thank you for putting these on. And it's just like, it's the most exciting thing in the world. We run down, we're so excited, we open it up, and it's like, it doesn't matter if it's like a tiny little thing, just like an SD card, or if it's a Rubik's Cube, right? It's just like, I just feel such gratitude for things coming in. Anytime someone sends me money for anything, get a sale in the business, boom, amazing, thank you. And a lot of time you go, yeah, that's easy. Of course, I love getting stuff too. It's like, okay, let's take this to the next level a little bit. Let's say you don't like your job and you go, oh, fuck, I only make 500 a month. Why do I only make 1,000 a month? What can I do with €1,000? It's like your brain thinks, oh, you feel so grouchy about 1,000. Think how bad you'd feel if you had 50,000. It's one of these things, like, again, if no matter how much it is comes in, like let's say this month, you literally all you made was €50. You want to celebrate that €50 just like it was a bigger amount. Just like, thank you so much, I love it, amazing, wonderful. That's 50. I'm delighted and overjoyed for that, and now I'm going to get more. And all these energy patterns matter so much. The other thing comes, now here's an interesting thing. How we give out money is also how we take in money. Now I'm going to let it sit for a second, because it is such an important thing. How we give out money is how we take out money. So let's say you're at the grocery store and you're buying your groceries, which should be a wonderful thing. You're getting all these nice new things. You're getting apples and oranges and lemons and some steak and other things. That should be a wonderful transaction where you're like, wow, this is awesome. But do most people do that? When most people are at the checkout, is that what happens? Or people are like, oh, wow, thank you, amazing, I love this. Or they're like, oh, shit, this is so expensive. Oh my God, I'm losing €100 right now. Ooh, why do I have to give them money? Like when your electric bill comes, it's like, ooh, damn electric company. And you start to think about anytime you give money to someone, it's like pain. But when you get money, it's like, yay. But here's the thing. Every time we give out money, if we think we have pain, we think that's the situation everyone else is also experiencing when we go and ask for money. So does that make sense? So whenever, say, your window cleaner comes and he wants €100 and you have to give it to him, you're like, oh, gee, I have to give him €100. Then we imagine every time we go to ask for a sale, the person who's going to give us money is grouchy about it. And then we don't ask for a sale because we think we're causing pain for people. There's this old expression in Ireland as well that a lot of people said, is like once they had a meal or something, they call the waiter over and be like, okay, what's the damage? And what's the damage meant, how much is it? It's such a weird thing. It's like, no, you're about to punish me and cause me pain now. But whenever you give out money joyfully and you joyfully pay for things, you think everyone else is the same. Because if you say, oh, you provide a service for me, here's the money, I'm so happy you washed my car, that was wonderful, here, have a little tip, like being generous, here's a little extra on top. Then you think everyone else is the same. So whenever you go to ask for money, you think, oh wow, they're going to be so happy to give me money. Because they love my product, they love my service. And this is where your energy, because whenever you have to ask for the sales later, because to get money, we're going to have to ask for a sale. That's how it is. It just is what it is. You're going to have to get money from someone else, so you're going to have to ask for a sale. But if you're stingy and miserable when you give out money, then you're going to think everyone else hates you when you're asking for money. But if you're generous and joyous when you give money, even if you don't have much, it takes a while to train ourselves. Like, these are things I used to train myself in the supermarket. Like, I felt crappy whenever I would see the price of things. I would like, milk's gone up to €3 a liter. It's like, ugh. And now it's like, thank you for having milk. I appreciate it. It's so good. And it took me a while. Whenever I didn't have much money, I used to rehearse like the feeling I want to feel whenever I buy things. I would rehearse buying it with joy. Okay, I'm delighted. I love this. I love this more than the money I'm giving. So thank you very much. I'm better off in this transaction. And I change that in every transaction. So if I don't feel joyous, I won't give the money. Yeah, Mark says the damage. Ouch. Words are powerful, eh? Yeah, like it all matters. So Jay says bills are the proof people trust us with their services. Yeah, exactly. So, Daniel says I don't know how to give money with joy. The thing is with this, it's just training. Now you can practice for the next month. Anytime you do it, because the thing is, if you're going to give the money anyway, like if you go, okay, I want to keep the lights on in my house. Like, it's nice to have electricity. Now, the prices might be going up. I know the prices have gone up. Like our bill recently was like €1,600 for our electric for the 2 months. And it's like, that's quite an increase for electricity for 2 months. It's like, so you're like, oh, wow, that's a steep increase. But a lot of people see that and it's like, there's maybe not much left. And you're like, ugh. But either give it or don't. So here's the thing. It's like, and if you're going to give it, be like, what benefits did I get? Okay, I get these lights. I got the internet to watch this. I can work on my computer. My food stays cold. I have heating in the house. I have hot water. And run through all the things I like. And if you say you don't want it, or it's like not okay, then do without. And you say, no, but I need it. And it's like, well, why do you need it? Okay, here's all these things. It's like, okay, well, I'm grateful that it exists right now. And then here's what I used to do as well. I used to put it in an envelope. I would put, even if like it's tricky now because it's credit cards, digital, other things. But before it was always cash. I would put it cash. But you can do this with a bill. You can put a bill in an envelope and put a smiley face and say thank you and leave it for 3-4 days. And then try to meditate on that just to be like, until you genuinely feel thankful for having that service. And this will take a while to train. I'm not diminishing how tricky this can be if you've had the opposite pattern. And sometimes it's like, that's why even if you have to give like 10 lei or 10 or like 10 cents over the price, if you're a bit grouchy, be like, here's a little tip. It breaks the stuckness and breaks the intensity. Like, pay for someone else's coffee when you're in a coffee shop. Say, that person is nice. Here, I'll buy your coffee too. Just to break the energy of the scarcity. And you might say, but then I have nothing left. And it's like, but if you do this, you'll start to have something left. But it is hard to change it at the beginning. I know, I get it. So, yeah. So, are you still with me? I know I'm covering a lot of things here. Hopefully some of these things get in. The main thing to get from this call is this checklist. We get this. Hopefully some of these other stories help you reflect. They help you, give you some things to think about. It's like, again, I could probably do a month on this topic, on energy drains and how to charge your energy and how to give that. Because the thing that I don't know if any of you heard of Stuart Wilde. I love that guy's books and other things. But he gave me another one of these profound things. It was like, whenever people buy something, they're usually not buying the thing. They're buying the exchange of energy they get when they get the thing. So like, if you buy something in a store, the store has a ritual and a way of being that makes you feel a certain way about yourself. And then the purchase is so you lock in that feeling. So when you go home, you have the t-shirt and it reminds you of how you felt when you bought it. Which is why it's like, if you're like, let's say you're simple, say you're doing something very simple. You had a garden and you're taking the garden, your potatoes to the market, and you're doing that. If you fill people with such joy whenever they come to your stall, they'll want to keep coming back because they want to remember how that felt. Whenever you're like, oh, wow, hey, how are you? Hey, Mary, good to see you. I'm so, like, how's it going? How's the day? Oh, your dress looks lovely today. And you're just filling someone full of joy. They want to keep coming back from you because they want that joyful feeling. But we need to be a joyful person. Whereas a lot of people I've seen, like, because I go to the market sometimes, we go down and just have a look and see if there's like how life is like that. And everyone's like, what do you want? Yeah. And then you say, how much is that? And they're like, €3. It's like, is that it? Yeah. That's the end of the conversation. And it's like, okay, I'm not buying from you. But they're like, hey, sir, how are you today? How's it going? How are you feeling today? And they have a little chit chat and a little joke and you come with good energy. It's like, it's amazing how much people will buy just because they like you and just because they have a good energy and they feel joyous around you. So it's important to come with that energy. Again, if you complain around people, they're going to like remember that energy of complaining. Whereas if you're always joyous and trying to find a solution and upbeat and looking for solutions, then people feel that, and every time they think of you, they're like, oh, that's a nice person. Oh, I like them. But this is in business as well. Like when you go to work, because anyone who's read Science of Getting Rich about the advancing person, it's such an important concept that we go on the front foot. That if we're in a job, say you're in a job and you're not making very much, can you go in from today or tomorrow and give it your all as if you were getting paid $1 million a year to do that job, and try to do it with the most joy you've ever done it. Come in with a smile. Okay, if somebody spills something, you clean it up before anyone else. Even if you don't have to, you go above and beyond. You stay 10 minutes later and take the garbage out and wipe things down and check there's no dust around the place. And every customer comes in, even if you think they're going to waste your time and they're not going to buy, can you fill their day full of joy and give that joyous energy? Because once you do that long enough, and we become too big energetically for the current position, suddenly the old job falls away because we're too big for it. And it's about resonance. Like once you break that resonance and you become someone who goes way beyond, that job might not promote you. But I've seen this so many times. Like you get a good waitress who works somewhere, and then you have a friend who's like that wants to open a restaurant, and they're like, hey, come work for me. I'll give you 50% over. And it happens all the time. If you get a good salesperson, you don't know who you'll get. Like say again, it could be someone in a very simple job, a hotel in the reception. You just blow their mind with friendliness, service. You write them a little note. I hope you enjoy your stay. You take them to the elevator. You go above and beyond. Someone will see that and say, I need you to work for me. And I'll pay you more and I'll give you what you're worth. But we start today going the front foot and giving everything whenever we're doing it. If you're going to do it anyway, like we can go to a job and be like, oh my God, I want to get €500 this month. Oh my, this is bullshit. When will I get a promotion? Whenever they give me a promotion, then I'll work harder. It's like whenever you go camping and you're like, hey, fire, give me some heat and then I'll give you a log. And the fire says, well, the fire doesn't say anything because it's fire. But if the fire could talk, he would say, that's not how this works. You give me the log and then I'll give you heat. We got to give that energy first. We got to act like we're someone who's rich. Act like someone who really cares, who is like, how will you treat your customer when you have a very successful company? Will you go in every single day? Like it's the same energy to go, you're doing it anyway. And just fucking bring it. Bring your best. That's why I have a morning routine, which I'm going to go through a routine, how I charge up energy early in the day, but we'll go through that in one of the future sessions. And I'll show you how you do that, how you come out to the day with a high energy. Where it's like magnetic and charismatic, where people just like, they're like, oh wow, well, nobody else has this energy. And that's what brings money in. It's that energy we bring to whatever we're doing. But this is where we don't want to deplete our, if we're thinking about all the shit, having arguments in our mind, we're like, oh, that piece of shit. And then we're like, hello, sir, nice to meet you. And then while you're getting something in his room, like the key for the room, you're like, I can't believe that bitch Tracy, what she said to me last night. Like, there you go, sir. Have a nice day. That energy is being exuded and people feel the energy. They feel the resonance of what we're thinking about. We can't hide what we are. People feel it. But whenever you have that constant, like, we're excited about life, we're prosperous, we're grateful, we're building things, we take care of our health, we're prosperous everywhere we go. People feel that and they resonate and they want to give you the next opportunity. Because I'm thinking like, all of you in here, I'm looking for people I can recommend to my network. But you have to, I'd have to see something Like, again, I have a very high level network. Like some of you know, we're building a group called the Enlightened Millionaires, which we had in a different way, but now it's like a higher level group. There's going to be hundreds of millionaires in it. We have people all over the world sold to companies for 20 million, 50 million, 100 million, like so many of our friends. And if anyone stands out and you've got things I think can be useful, I'll recommend you. And it's amazing how one good contact, and if you have the right energy, it can save 10 years of work. And I did this with a friend not so long ago. He lives in the UK, and I just thought he would be incredible for all my friends. I brought him over. He stayed in my house. There was like 20. I invited 25 people. We did a crazy event, lots of activities, and now he's traveling the world. He's speaking at like the Dubai World Fair. Everywhere I look, he's on stage of like 500 or 1,000 people. He's making way more than he ever was in his life before. He's one of the key players in like the Amazon industry. And that was just someone I was like, hey, look, I want to connect you, put you together. And it's the same here. Like, if I see some way I can help you, I will. But it's like, can you hold the ice cream? And the same as like, I'm not saying I'm the only one. Like, other people in the group who are prosperous will want to do the same. That's why I want that whenever we all get this way, we start to work in teams. We start to help each other. So if you do know anyone you can open a door for, do it. You don't lose an opportunity by helping people. Like, it gives you an extra opportunity as well. So, because I noticed like certain people who've been around a while, I look at their profiles now, how they speak, how they communicate, and the prosperity just keeps increasing every single time we do these. And you can tell there's just an oozing of prosperity. Maybe like the reason I want to do this Get Money Now, because sometimes they didn't get the external skills and the same way, but they put all the pieces together and they're prepping for that. So there's many parts of that to put together. So there's another thing I want to talk about. I know we're kind of short on time here, but we'll have a couple of minutes more to get to this. This was called, and I'm just giving a little printout. I don't do screen share. I'm not really techie. So it's called the Map of Consciousness. If you're just listening, I'll try to post it somewhere. But I don't really care about the words here because it starts at the bottom. So, like David Hawkins, he mapped out apparently the scale of consciousness, and it shows the lowest level vibration of energy and then the highest level vibration. And the lowest level vibration is shame and guilt and apathy and fear. And the highest level is consciousness. I don't really care about the words or whatever, but I love this concept that how we feel about ourselves, if we hold on to any things in our life where we hold shame, where we feel like, just little old me, no, I'm no good, this energy will just deplete us and we just won't be able to bring our goodness to the world. Same as if we have guilt about things we've done in the past. We need to start learning to forgive ourselves because we need to climb the scale of consciousness. It's like once you get over on this, I think it was like 250. Once you get beyond like anger and other things, and I'll do a whole thing on this because this is so important. I just want to make this people aware a little bit of this. That everything's resonance of what energy we're putting out. And if we hold shame, guilt, grief, fear of the future, like how many of you are super enthusiastic about the future? Genuinely. You don't even need to, don't say in the comment. I'm not even asking. Somebody posted the levels of consciousness. Nice. So you don't even need to say here. Think about how many are just answer inside your own mind. Are you genuinely excited about the future? And you think the future of the world is going to be bright, spectacular, wonderful, amazing. It's just going it's like everything's getting better in every single way. Or is there like a secret things are getting a bit crazy. Things are getting a bit rough. I don't know if I can survive. Prices are going up. Oh my God, where am I going to be 6 months or a year from now? And it's important to think about this story we're telling ourselves. Because when we have the fear, there's many things drag us down to this lowest level. And we need to purge the mind to find out what they are and start to change the story. Which is, again, a lot of what we're doing in this group is about how to do that and how to, whenever we don't watch murder, we don't watch the things in Netflix that show the end of the world. We don't watch the news. I'm not listening to stuff about war. I'm not getting all these things. I'm just building. And you might say, it's like, oh, well, you're not informed about the world. And it's like, no, if it's really important, it'll get to me. I'm just building. That's it. I don't care what the world's doing. I'm building. I'm building my family. I'm building this group. I'm building any one of you that will help me or let me help you build your life. I'm building for everyone around me. And that's it. I'm just building regardless. I don't care. I don't care what the world's doing. I don't care what's going on in Russia. I don't care what's going on in Israel. I don't care what's going on anywhere else. It's like, even if I do care, I can't do shit about it. I'm just building. That's it. I'm going forward and I'm building. So there's many things going on. Like, I don't know, are we in a boom time? I don't know, even know what the economy's doing these days. I don't really care. It's just like, I'm just building. And it's not that I'm unsympathetic. I just feel like I can help people the most by being in this prosperous vibe all the time and figuring out how to thrive regardless. And I want you all to do the same. And then, again, there's times when there's things I care about, but it's always in like, can I do something about it? If I can't do something about it, not interested. So, Sue says, how do we find our level? The thing about this, no one is at one level. Everyone is a combination of many things. Like, I found some people are very, if you talk about in relationships, they might be like in love and acceptance and inner light and openness and presence. But when it comes to money, they might feel so ashamed of where they are. They might think the people around them is like, they're all going to judge me and know that I'm worthless and piece of shit and I failed. No, I'm feeling loved in my life, but they know I failed. And it's just, so then you can be in both at the same time, and it can flicker between. But we want to get to the place eventually with enough training that we're not dropping down the scale. Again, we could spend a lot of time on this, and I will keep coming back to this. So I'm kind of dropping seeds. There's a lot of things, a lot of things in life that I've put together over the years, and I feel like it's so important, and I want to just keep dropping seeds. The more times we do courses like this, we'll keep getting different levels, because we will do trauma release for anyone who needs that. We'll do like building self-confidence. We'll do releasing all, like training the mind to not indulge in like crazy shit. Shambhala is one possibility. I don't know what that is, but interesting. Constant worry, fear about situations with the war world is not helpful for us or others. Yeah, just it's more likely to make it worse, because everyone gets all edgy and be like, oh yeah, who's the bad guy? Who's the good guy? And it's like, I have no idea. There's so many things going on. I have no idea. But I'm going to be the one that's building good stuff, and I'm going to help my neighbors, help my friends, and give out prosperous vibes. And it's not being like naive about stuff. I'm aware of the stuff going on in the world. I'm not going to be naive and leave and be like, no. It's like I make sure there's nothing coming to my door at that level. But if there is, I'm moving, and I'm moving fast. Even if I have to go and like jump in a boat or something, I don't care. I'll always figure it out, whatever it is. I'm just confident. If somebody's eating, I'm eating. That's how I think about this. So a lot of these are big energy drains, and it's important to start just looking at these simple ones and start to organize our time a little bit. But this is not a time management course. This is not the full thing, but it's important to start, like, get the obvious ones first. Like, even the next couple of days, like, try not to eat the potato chips before bed. Drink a little bit more water. Like, in the morning, get up, move your body a little bit. I'll get into that on the next session as well, like what we can do to start. I think it's session number 3 of how we can really like supercharge our energy, but start to think about easy, obvious things we can let go of, and start letting these go. Because once we get to the later sessions, you're going to need all your energy. Because some of these people go, all this internal stuff, and it's like, yeah, there's going to be internal stuff, and then there's going to be external stuff, and you're going to have to do things. You don't have to do anything, actually. You get to do things if you want money. So that's what we're going to be getting into. So this is the start of this. We can talk about this more through the week. Like, the thing is, there's only so much we can do in the call. 1 hour is 1 hour. It just is what it is. But we can talk about it all between now and the next call. If anyone has any questions, we can get into these topics more. I can talk about, I can create videos for the group, whatever. So don't feel like it's just like, this is the call, that's it. The whole point of why it's in this community is so that we can expand on these ideas. And this is just like, so we all get the general idea, and then we can share our findings, what we're clearing out. Like, if you're getting rid of some shitty behaviors, tell people in the group, hey, I'm going to do this. Anyone else want to do it with me? I'm going to give up smoking. I'm going to give up drinking. I'm going to let it go. I'm going to like stop hoarding. So, Daniel says, I feel the shadows because those are ingredients for my creativity. The key is to be able to realize the difference between knowing the path and walking. What do you mean the shadows are the ingredients for your creativity? That sounds ominous a little bit. I'm not sure if I understand that completely, but maybe. We'll see a little bit more into that. So I hope you get the idea of this. Don't get lost in simplicity. This is very powerful. On the last page as well of this, we gave you resonance statements again. It is good to be able to start to change things. I use these. I know a lot of people can say like these things, resonance statements or affirmations, whatever. They sound a bit hokey and other stuff, but I find they let me know where I am. If I can't say something easily, I know there's something I need to work on there, and then I think of how to work on it. So I release old patterns and habits that no longer serve my highest good. New opportunities flow effortlessly into the space, and I use this whenever I have quiet time. I just think about these and I just process it, and I'm just like, I'm open and willing to change. I'm open and willing to be a new prosperous person. And I stand with that openness. I stand, like in the morning, I get up in sunrise and I stand and I look over, like, because we have like 12 mountains in the ocean and all this stuff. And I just stand and like, I'm open and willing to accept all prosperity. I'm open and willing to accept all good. And I do it with openness, and I breathe it in and I feel it. And I just feel it helps so much to be ready, because there are so many changes can happen in this month for those of you that come. And I'm so happy so many of you are coming in the calls, because just by being here, by the end of this, we're going to put together so many things. It's just like a nice puzzle. It'll all come together, and it's going to give you the complete picture. And you'll be like, oh, wow, so many things are happening. Because like, you know, there's some people now coming in the introductions, like a lot of people may haven't been saying what they have, but people who met us years ago, sometimes it takes people a little while to get it, but then you see like a year or two later, boom, all things start flourishing. I hope now, because this is Get Money Now, you'll be able to start making new money now, but then to make big money and transform your life will happen over the next months and years. So let me get some comments before we wind it up. Roxana said, it's amazing how you clean your habits, and every year you still find a way to do it better. I've got so many, it blows my mind how much there's always to do. Like even the house clear out. The amount of you know that I'm talking about that, and I'm like, clear out the house, I'm always purging everything, like keeping everything flowing. I only keep things that I love and use and enjoy. And then recently we're like, I'll do another one, and it's like 2 full truckloads of stuff. Again, we're a big house and lots of people, but I was like, where was that even hiding? And I do it all the time. I constantly purge everything to make sure there's nothing here that I'm not using, and it's just like still something else comes. So, and I just find that this world is designed in a way. I want to talk about this world and how it's designed at some point. We'll do a thing just on that at some time, because it can be a bit mind-blowing and incredible. But it's designed that no matter how there's stuff to keep us busy the rest of our lives, entertained. There's no matter what level you get to, there's always so many more. So Chrissy says, make a video about your eating habits. What helps you most? Different things food-wise that keep your energy, please. Mine is very simple, like with food. When I eat something, I notice how I feel after, and if I feel a bit like wonky or something, I usually don't eat that again. I maybe try it one more time to make sure it's that. And then, like in the morning, I have simple breakfast. I have like eggs and toast, but I have a very specific bread that I'm okay with. Like almost every other bread I'm not okay with. And then I have like a salad in the afternoon, and maybe like a porridge or something before bed at night, or like a pepper and cheese and stuff like that. I eat very simple and and then we have chicken instead of the salad, or we have like minced beef. But I keep it very simple. I don't eat snacks. I don't eat sugar. I don't like pick on things all day. LPV says, thank you for what you said today. It feels like everything you said came from a place of love. I resonate very strongly with what you said. Thank you. Very nice. So thanks. I think it's the old school of creativity, but there are different ways to be creative. Yeah. If you're using darkness for creativity, I would say it's nice to maybe let go of that story, because the light will give you much more joy and prosperity and beauty and other things, and you can still be just as creative, if not more. So lots of thank yous. Sultan says, thank you, reminders, needed them today. So there's many things together. Let's talk in the group. I really appreciate everyone's introductions. I'm reading them all. I'm loving them all. It's incredible. If you haven't done it, let's do it. So Elisa said, already started being thankful. It matters so much. Just start to change it, because again, if you're giving the money anyway, train yourself, whatever you got to do until you can give it with joy. Ovidio said, thanks, David. So Ovidio, what a lovely family you have. I don't think you had we added threads so we can comment under the pictures now, but at that time when you posted it, we couldn't do that. But I love seeing people's families. It's just the most joyous, wonderful, amazing thing. Again, family is like in my top tier now. So anytime someone posts happy family stuff, I love it. It brings me so much joy. So if any of the rest of you want to promote family, that's awesome. Maybe we'll do a prosperous parenting session at some point. But like I was showing Brigida today, we're going through and we've got like 10 more courses that we want to build in this group that are going to create transformations from different angles, and we'll do it like we'll take a month break, do another one, a month break, do another one. And I feel like if we stick together and we start helping each other and working and we know each other more and we go through this and we all kind of get the way of thinking, like things can get pretty exciting. And a year from now, it's like, wow, we have so many good connections and great experiences and levels up. So it's amazing. So Joanna says, thanks, lovely to listen to you. Thank you so much. It's very kind of you. And Denise says, yes, prosperous parenting challenge course. Yeah, I think it's so important. So thanks everyone. Thanks for your participation. Thanks for coming on live calls, because whenever I know you're getting a lot from it, I want to keep creating more. And I feel like every single time it's going to get better and better, because I'm still new to this. I did a lot of seminars before. I did tons of seminars, but that's very different than doing online like this, talking to a camera by myself. It's like, so I'm finding my way into it, getting more comfortable all the time. And I hope you're enjoying it, because again, no matter how much you've done it live in seminars, because I could talk in front of 1,000 people, no problem. Like I've done it so much, but like this was just a different game for me, and I'm just finding my way into it. And we'll start adding better quality editing, all that stuff later as we get going. So I just want to find out what people like and make sure you're enjoying what we have so far. So I appreciate you all. It's very good. If there's anything else you need, let me know. I'll be in the group. I check it quite often. So and do that. But thank you and good night. And if I missed anything, it is what it is. I did miss some things I didn't really have time to get to, because I was about to open a big can of worms, but I think we need a bigger session for that. So because it's like, yeah, but we'll get there. So thank you all, everyone, and we shall see you on Sunday night. We've got a very important one. Each one of these will build upon each other, so hopefully you can make them all. And even if you don't do the exercises, I want you to do them, but if you don't do them, still come on the call. Don't worry, just like get through them all, and then we can put it together later. So the guidebook will be in the announcements tab and on Telegram if you want to get it there. So, and if anyone listens recording, you can get everything at peacefulriches.com and meet and find our Discord. So until next time, we'll see you later. Have a great night and goodbye. Get money now.